Hi YouTube. I just want to set the record straight because despite what my sister says, I've never once cheated on Daniel, and I can say that from my heart. Right, he dumped me 4 times, once in London and 3 times up here. Now, I'm not proud of what I've done, but I did sleep with some men when Daniel dumped me because I was feeling very low, and that's probably what my sister was referring to when she. But the thing is, I've never once cheated on him. He dumped me in London, and I came back up here, and I was so annoyed with him. I was so upset and so hurt and so angry. That I went to Unit 2, I think it's called, in Birmingham, Hurst Street. And yeah, I did get off with a guy there. Yeah, and then obviously Daniel come back up here, and then obviously he's been dumping me a few more times. So in total, he's dumped me 4 times, and it just so happens that I've slept with 4 men. Sorry for I mean, I feel really bad about it, but at the same time, I know I haven't done anything wrong because he dumped me. So yeah. I did do some really upset videos, but I didn't put them on YouTube because I didn't see the point. But at the end of the day, if you dump someone, then it's over. That's it. It's over. Once you say to someone you don't want them to see them anymore for whatever reason, which is what Daniel did in London. He was shouting in my face. Had to get the police. Had to ring the London police because he was shouting it. He was shouting in my face. He was shouting at me and his friend Liana's. I wanted to take a video of Liana's pet snake because she has a pet snake at the time. I don't know if she still has, but I wanted to take a video of the pet snake and I asked Daniel, and he snapped at me. He says, "You can't just take videos in other people's homes." But I was actually passing the phone to her, and then he was shouting in my face. I walked out of there because I felt scared. I didn't know where I was in London. I had to ring the police because I didn't know where I was, and yeah, so I know for a fact, more than 100% definitely, I know for a fact that I haven't done anything wrong. Although I felt like I was doing something wrong at the time, but no, because he actually dumped me. You know, once you dump someone, it's over. I know I have a habit of taking people back when they dump me, but maybe as well that was to do with me feeling guilty about doing doing that. Maybe that's another reason why I took him back. But it's got to the point where he's dumped me so many times now that I just feel like, I don't feel bad anymore about what I've done. I mean, I did when I was doing it, but it's just, I felt so unneeded, so unwanted, so I mean, when someone says to you, "Fuck off back to Birmingham," when they're shouting that in your face, that they never want to see you that they never want to see you again, isn't that saying to you that they're dumping you? That's saying to me that he's dumping me. If he's saying it's 1 o'clock already. I haven't walked socks yet. If he's saying that, sorry, this has been playing in my mind all morning, so I need to say it. If he's saying that I'm dumped, if he's saying to me, "Fuck off back to Birmingham," if he's shouting that right in my face, then it's obvious that he didn't want me anymore. And that's why I went to Hurst Street, because I was feeling so low that I felt like I needed to do something to pick myself up a bit. And yes, I let him back because, as I say, I felt bad about what I did, even though I was perfectly in my right to do that because he dumped me. So yeah, I did feel bad at the time, but I don't anymore because I've talked it over with my sister, I've talked it over with my mum, I've talked it over with Caroline. Well, no, not quite. I've talked it over with a few different people, and they're all like, "Yeah, if he told you to fuck off back to Birmingham, if he told you you dumped, then I was in my right to do that. I mean, I'm in my right to look for someone else if I've been dumped at the end of the day." But as I say, dumping someone is not easy because the other person, because I felt very confused, and that confusion just breeded more confusion because I felt confused, and that's why I went down to Hurst Street, because I felt confused. And when he come back, I think he had a sense of what I'd done, and it's just been up and down since then, really. I mean, even before then, he was always FaceTiming his ex in London. Every time I saw him, he would be outside FaceTiming his friends in London, and it just made me feel like he didn't want me, because all I got to spend with him was a few hours every day, whereas I wanted to be with him all the time. And it's just, I don't know, he just says to me, don't expect me to be, I don't know, he just says he's cold, and I don't know. He just says it's not his thing to take me back, but I just feel like I don't know, I just feel like if you dump someone, then it's over, and just, I've never dumped him, I've never once dumped him. Early on in the relationship, we did used to argue, and then he used to storm out and go round to Lee's. But there were so many times when I wanted him back, and I just didn't have it. I just didn't have him back because he didn't want to come back, not on a permanent basis. There were so many times when I wanted to commit to him a lot more, and he just sort of brushed me off and made me feel like he didn't want me. Is that the postman? It's a bit late, isn't it, for the postman? But there were so many times when I felt the brush off, and just felt like he didn't want to be with me, and he didn't want me, and the longer it went on, the more he gave the impression that he wasn't bothered about the relationship, and just, I still can't sleep at night. I still lay awake thinking about it, or thinking how rejected I feel, how hurt I feel, how it just reminds me of when I was a teenager. My mum used to do that all the time. She used to have a few drinks, and then she'd tell me to fuck off and not come back again. And it just reminded me of my childhood. I don't like dissing my family. I don't like saying anything bad about my family, but that's the truth of the matter. My childhood, I was often, yeah. I don't know what to say about it all really. It just feels really hurtful in my heart. It still feels really hurtful. What I shouldn't have done is I shouldn't have took him back after London, because he made it clear he didn't want to be with me. He told me to fuck off back to Birmingham. He's told me over Christmas at least 3 times that he doesn't want to be with me. So it's not cheating, because cheating is when you're in a committed, loving relationship and both partners are together and one person goes off on the other person. That is what cheating is. When you dump someone, it's over, finito, it's finished. So why do I keep going back to him for? Because I feel bad about moving on. Why should I feel bad about moving on? Why should I feel bad about moving on? It doesn't make sense, does it? I know I haven't moved on, but that's not the point. Because my emotions are very up and down, so I can't move on at the moment, really. So, but pardon. But it's just a joke. I mean, I shouldn't have took him back. That's where I went wrong. That's the mistake I made. That's where I went wrong, because if he dumped me, it's finito. It's finished. It's the end. And that's what happened. That's what happened in London. That's what happened here. I was looking at my messages going back to November, which is now nearly 4 months ago. Even then, it looked like he'd finished with me. So, you know, and he's been round at Ewitts for nearly 4 months as well. So, it's not what I'm looking for in a relationship, really. I go from various different friends, can't stay settled at one person's house. Have to move into Leeds for 15 months, or have to move into Ewitts for maybe 6 months or more. I don't know how long he's going to be there for, but it's not what I'm looking for in a relationship. It's a very carefree, sort of very kind of footloose and fancy-free kind of relationship where I felt like I was there for him, but he wasn't there for me, and just. Where's that gone to now? It's just a joke. It just feels like a joke. I mean, the whole relationship feels like a joke, because I still don't understand why he told me to fuck. Even though it was over a year ago now, I still don't understand why he told me to fuck off back to Birmingham. When I was in Bromley with him, I have no idea why he told me to fuck off back to Birmingham. I still don't have a clue why he did that, why he told me to fuck off back to Birmingham. That is the worst thing to say to someone when you're in a committed relationship, when you're in a full-time relationship with someone. That is one of the worst things you can say to them. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any chance, but I'm just saying that I just felt very, very hurt in London over a year ago now, and over Christmas, because he kept leaving me. Even though I blocked him, he was using someone else's phone to voicemail me and say I'm dumped. So how anyone can class that as cheating is beyond me, because cheating is when you're with someone and you go off with someone else. But if you dump someone, if I was to say to him, fuck off, go and fuck off back to London, he wouldn't think twice about getting with someone else. I know, you know. I just feel like it's double standards. It's like he can do what he wants, but I can't do what I want. That's how it feels. I mean, I've never once said to him, fuck off back to London. If I said that to him, then I would expect him to do that and go off with someone else. I would, to be honest, I would. I definitely would, because if you dump someone, then it's finished. It's finito. It's gone. It's finished. And as I say, I only took him back because he sounded upset, and I felt sorry for him, and I felt bad for what I did because I've never done anything like that in my life. I've always been the one that's been cheated on, but it's not cheating, is it? Because see, my other relationships, what I class as cheating is when I was with that person. And that person went off with someone else. For instance, Nico Andrews, or I can't remember all the names, to be honest. Someone in Evesham with glasses on. He looks very ugly. But yeah, I mean, when you're in a full-time relationship, then if one person goes off with someone else, then it's definitely cheating. But if it's I'll be so late for walking socks. But if it's but if you get dumped, then it's over, isn't it? So I don't know what I was thinking, why I was feeling bad, or I don't know, because he told me to fuck off, so I should have took it as that. And I think I think since that time, since London, I've worried in my mind that he's going to do it again. And I think me worrying all the time has created what's happened now. He's told me I've dumped 3 more times now. But I think worrying about it all the time that I was going to get dumped again has created the situation for me to get dumped another 3 times. Because every time I get into a relationship, I worry that I'm going to get cheated on. So, in one way or another, it happens. But, yeah. Okay, YouTube. Okay, bye.